Hi, everyone. You don't know me yet. I'm Faith and Moore.
And I'm Cheryl Dewick. Welcome to the Hub Online. Tonight is a very special night. And the reason it's a special night is normally we'd be talking about ministry, but tonight we are very excited because we have just launched this past Friday, wasn't it? October 30th, we have launched, GMIHub had launched a Christmas album. It's called the GMIHub Family Christmas Vol.1 album. And now what's so special about it is it's not just one artist. It is a whole bunch of different artists that have contributed original music to this particular project. It was a project that you hear us talk about it. We want to encourage unity, community, mentorship, and talent growth. And this project is a product of that encouragement. Tonight, we have 3 of the artists that are on that album right now. You are seeing them right now in the, I say top corner because it's my top corner here. We have a dynamic duo of Johnny and Rochelle Gonzalez. We also have on the other corner, Andrew Martin.
Which corner am I, left or right?
Don't ask me those questions.
It's like Hollywood Squares, and I'm looking forward to this game. I'll tell you that much.
My right-hand corner. There you go.
All right.
Andrew Martin. And of course, we have Denise Fex down here. All of these are amazing artists. You're going to learn more about them. I can tell you really quick who they are, but I want them to tell you who they are. I'm going to start with the dynamic duo. So, so Johnny and Rochelle, tell us your story. How did you get into the music business?
Wow, that's a long story. Do we have an hour?
Yes.
The abridged version.
Well, I think it all started for me when I was really young. My parents would take me to church regularly, and I'd be the kid sitting right at the front row, looking at the drummer and just mimicking everything that he would be doing, kind of like air drums. And and I would just watch him and just try to learn as much as I could from watching him. And one day he went away for vacation or something. And my uncle was the director of music at the time. So I begged him, let me play the drums. I know how to play drums.
And how old were you?
I must have been, what, 8?
Oh my gosh.
7 or 8. Yeah. And anyhow, so he agreed to let me play a couple of songs. It was better than having no drummer at all for the service, So I get up there and I start playing. I did such a great job, I guess, that he just kept me on, and I ended up replacing the drummer there. And I ended up going into the church choir, ended up being the youngest member ever of the church choir. We went to the recording studio, must have been 9, and recorded our first album, my first album anyway.
Yeah, because that church choir was like touring and doing all the church was really...
We were touring, ended up touring South America and all over the United States, promoting the record. Anyway, but something interesting happened there too while we were recording, that I developed a love and interest for the process of recording and producing then. And so move on a few years later, and I started a band in high school. And that ended up being working towards a record deal, once we got out of high school. So, that's where my story begins. How about yours?
Yeah, no, I'm more classically trained, a master's degree in opera, and I'm a high school music teacher. And I'm basically prodding him like, come on, write the song. That was sort of my job on this, and to do some ghost vocals and stuff like that. But we're so happy to work together on music, and we have very different styles, and it's kind of fun when we can collaborate on anything. So yeah.
So you both wrote that song together?
Well, I'm going to say Johnny wrote it. I'm going to say I contributed, but I would say this one was mainly his. We tend to each, when we write our own, but then the other person comes along and says, well, how about this? And have you tried this? And what if the chord was like that? And so we kind of do that, but I would say this is mainly Johnny's piece. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
it is an awesome piece. Now tell us about
Thank you.
the song itself, Johnny. Um, I know that part of the prodding was we're doing a Christmas song, we're doing this project, but then how did you get the idea of doing Christmas Is, which is the name of the song that's on the album?
Well, that's another story in itself because when Rochelle told me that we were actually going to be contributing to the album, it was still like summertime, So really, I had never written a Christmas song before.
This was your
And
first Christmas song.
this is my first Christmas song, and
Awesome.
I'm thinking to myself, well, this isn't Christmas yet. How am I going to get the feels for Christmas?
We want to go to the beach.
when I want to go to the beach, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to milk summer for the last ounce of heat and all of this.
But you got to do it. You got to do it. Yeah.
And yeah, so Rochelle would try to inspire the Christmas creative juices flowing by putting Christmas music at breakfast. And
Oh,
I was really subtle. It's like, let's turn on the Christmas music and maybe put up some Christmas decorations. Maybe
And
he'll
she-
get in the mood here for songwriting.
and she would say, "Doesn't it feel like Christmas?" I'm like, no.
or he'll drop a little rice on you as you're sitting
Yeah.
down. Just kind of,
So yeah. But you have to do what you got to do to get in that spirit,
Yeah.
because as musicians, like, we're always working 6 months ahead of time on a project, and let's face it, like, you don't always feel it, right? And sometimes you just got to do it, and in the doing of it, then you find the inspiration.
Yeah, but regardless, in this project, I was still like drawing blanks. I was still in this writer's rut, I had nothing. And, I think about 4 to 3 weeks before the project was due, I finally had to, just set some time aside and say, okay, Lord, give me something. I have nothing here. Give me some inspiration. I have nothing here. So I took my guitar, and I sat in front of the piano with my guitar in hand and started noodling on the piano. And all of a sudden, like, I came up with a melody that sounded like, could be a hook. So I started playing with that. And okay, so what I have this idea for a hook. So what do I want to say? And what I wanted to say most is that what is Christmas really about? We have kids, and as they were growing up and living at home, one of our traditions was to go to the store together as a family and to get a cake and to have them write a happy birthday Jesus on the cake. So, and right after dinner, we would all gather around, light the candles, and sing happy birthday to Jesus, right?
And I thought that was so strange the first Christmas I
And-
had with you guys. But I was happy. We had cake. I like cake.
Yeah, because you know what? That's what
That's the
really
reason. Yeah, it's the
what
birthday of
Christmas
Christ.
is about, is the birthday of Jesus, right? And so that sort of came to me as that should be the theme of this song. So here I am noodling on the piano. What is Christmas about? Christmas is the time of year, right? To celebrate the one. So then that's how that was born, and so I ran to the studio and started playing the progression around it and started putting the music to it, and that's how the song was
Building
born.
it. Yeah. One block at a time.
Now, I know that when you were building that song, you said there was another voice. So you had, was it just three? Was it just the two of you, or was there three of you, or?
It was just actually.
Well, it started out as me, but I'm going to be honest, and we singers, we do have some ego, right? But I'm singing it, and when he had first previewed it to me, I was like, yeah, I have all those notes. I'm an opera singer, I can sing low, high, whatever. But then I realized, like, the tessitura of this song, meaning we all have whatever our range is, but then tessitura is, where does most of the song lie? And the tessitura of this song is really high in the chorus. And when you put that in a female soprano voice, you sound like some angel voice. You know, it's up in head range. And I said, what you need, because I did the original vocal, and then we ended up just using that as a ghost vocal for the singer that we hired, Roy Nichols, who's amazing, and he's a artist with a Journey tribute band. I said, this needs to be the tessitura of a high tenor, a rock and roll tenor, because and like singers like Denise know this too, because when she's singing that rock music, if you're up there almost at the break of your voice, it sounds powerful and rock and roll and strong. But for those of us who are opera singers, our voice flips over into head voice, and so it just didn't suit. It didn't suit. But Roy came through for us, and he was awesome. Yeah.
You guys should check him out. He's in a tribute band, Journey tribute band.
Epic Journey,
Yeah, that's great. He's awesome. I've done gigs with Roy. He's pretty cool. Well, I mean, I'm in a tribute band as well, so we followed him. Didn't actually sing together with him. He does Steve Perry, right?
Yeah,
like Nobody's
right.
Business.
Yeah. No, he's great, and I figured that kind of sound would be great for this song. Yeah.
That's a really good point about noticing which voice will kind of sell the song the way that you want it to be sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every voice has a different timbre, a different tone color. And,
Rochelle's a fantastic
well,
singer.
thank you.
I was like, torn.
No.
Like, why can't we?
I
use
just
her
stepped
voice?
back because you know what? I want his song to succeed. And I knew if I was the singer on it, it would not go the direction it needed to go. And, you got to know when it's right for you and when it's not, Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
That wise words. That's awesome. I was curious, Johnny, you mentioned being at the piano with a guitar. I think for a lot of people that might have been kind of interesting, like, is that overkill? How many hands?
Well, from my previous story, people probably think I'm a drummer, but I'm actually a guitar player.
Okay.
And so I mostly use my guitar to write, but sometimes when I get stuck with melodies, I will sit down at the piano and then transfer over to guitar for progressions, chord progressions.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not a piano player or anything like that. I just use it for melodies. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a lot easier because all the notes are laid out for you
Yeah.
in sequence, kind of,
I write at the piano, and if I want a different way of approaching, I go to the guitar. So it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
It brings out something different.
Yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
Was it hard to keep going with your lyrics after you had your Happy Birthday, Jesus?
Well, actually, it was a little bit, but after I started, with the flow of telling the story of who Jesus is, what Christmas is really about, and trying to get that across, it started flowing a little bit easier after that. The hardest part always is the rhyming, getting all the right syllables and all that.
And the school teacher here jumps in a bit with that and says, this word's a little redundant. Let's get out a thesaurus here or something, right? So
She's a good manager, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, school teachers usually are.
yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's like the song's awesome. And one of the things that attracts me about your song is the harmonies. I mean, I'm a harmony girl. And so as soon as I started hearing those tight harmonies, like, oh, you just took me to a new level. This is so awesome. And I want to play a sample of your song so that the audience can hear it. And just to be reminded that this song is available on the GMIHub Family Christmas Vol.1 album, which is available at gmihub.bandcamp.com. We will be putting those in our notes later on, but I just wanted you to hear this. So bear with me because I am going to try and share screen so you can actually see this particular song called Christmas Is. Oops. Whoa, and there it is. There it is. I wanted to fade that out. I'm so sorry,
No
guys.
worries.
But you want to hear the rest? You have got to get the album. And did you hear those harmonies? I mean, come on. Come on.
Yes.
That song rocks. So thank you, Rochelle and Johnny, for that song. That is so awesome.
Thank
But
you.
stay with us because we want to now go to Andrew. Andrew, you've been quiet. Like
Andrew Martin.
Andrew Martin is no stranger to us. He has been on GMIHub before, talking about business because Andrew pre-COVID was doing over 200 shows. Is that right?
Correct.
Pre-COVID, over 200 shows. But don't worry, they're coming back. It'll be 300.
Oh dear.
I hope not.
You'll really have
I'll be honest to that one. I hope not. I'd rather go the other way now.
Yeah.
But Andrew is he's listed as a contemporary crooner. He is known for that smooth tenor voice that just melts the hearts of anyone who listens. And he has this beautiful song called Gift of Love. Andrew, now we get to ask you all the questions.
You can go right ahead.
So tell us, first of all, we'll go back a little bit just to tell us, how did you get into the music scene?
Well, all started in 1918 when I was born, and just a wee little lad I was. I'm just kidding. Born and raised in the church. Actually, born in a hospital, raised in the church. Really raised in my parents' house. We went to church twice on Sunday. Okay, now that we got that covered. But my parents did take me to Massey Hall when I was a kid, to the all-night gospel sings. They did have a family group that sang in churches and whatnot. So I was always sort of inundated with the music that way. And 4 years old, my grandfather was the arranger of the Christmas pageant at our local church, and said that I needed to perform. So little 4-year-old Andrew walked out to the front of the stage, sang a song with my toes sort of hanging over the edge of the stage. When they were done, they clapped, and I bowed, and I bowed, and I bowed some more as they clapped more. And I was hooked. It was the ego of the applause, and I couldn't give it up. It's almost like I was Trump. Anyways, that's a bad thing. But no, I enjoyed singing and started out as a drummer. So I'm hearing Johnny talking about drums. Started out as a drummer with different bands, and eventually did background vocals for them, and stepped out and started singing in 1999. Oh, dear Lord, 21 years ago now. And I've had, I guess, a little bit of success. I'm happy with it. It's just, I do what I do, and I'm happy that I'm able to do it.
That is awesome. And I've heard you sing on a number of different shows. The first time I think I met you, Andrew, was actually in Brampton when you sang at Music in the Park. And you had me laughing so hard, I forgot that you were going to sing.
Right. Because I'm really not a singer. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm Robin Williams, but I sit down all the time. I don't like standing up. It hurts my feet.
But then we also had the chance to see one of your Christmas shows, and was absolutely amazed. I mean, the quality that you bring forth, not just with your singing and your music, and even the band you have the ambiance, the lights, the whole kit and caboodle. Like, that's the whole package. When shows start again, you're going to go see Andrew. Okay, everybody is going to go see Andrew. Just letting you know that now.
Thanks. Put the pressure on now. Now they're going to come out, and if it doesn't live up, Cheryl, it's just like, thanks. It's just like the worst first date ever. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy's so romantic. He'll do everything for you. Like Cupid is inside of him. Yes.
As I say to my kids, I believe in you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, you and Daryl were out last Christmas at the River Run Center.
That's right.
If I'm correct, yeah.
That's right. That's right. And it was a beautiful show. It was a beautiful show.
Great venue.
Yes. So tell us now about the song, Gift of Love.
Gift of Love, written in a tour bus, believe it or not. On tour, we're in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Had slept overnight in the spots you generally sleep at, a Walmart parking lot. Being honest, it was 5:30-ish in the morning, and I woke up with lyrics running through my head. So I sat in the back of the bus, grabbed pen and paper, and wrote the song down and then just sang it throughout the day. I think I want to say it was end of summer-ish on that tour. So towards fall, so a little easier to think about it. And recorded it, and it did well. It went #1 in Europe on the Billboard charts, and it has done well for us. So it's a nice song, and I love singing it. Love the message to it.
My first time hearing it actually is when you submitted it, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, Cheryl. I sang it last year at Qual Forever Run.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
I did.
Cheryl.
So that's when you went to the washroom. I caught you. I knew somebody left. It was you.
So funny.
No, yeah, I did sing it, but we actually did a bit of a different version at the show than we did, that's recorded. Let's say it that way.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
The lyrics did a change. What happened there?
No real lyric change. Just some of the production we just scaled back and did it a little bit more jazz orientated in the show that year. So just 3-piece. It was just neat. Just stripped it down a little bit more. That's all. No big gang vocals. It was just me and basically piano with drums, a little bit of bass, and that's it. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Cheryl likes harmonies, so that's probably when she went to the restroom. Right?
Yeah, it's when she checked out. Yeah, it was the second song in the show. But no, I'm just kidding. It wasn't the second song in the show. I'm trying to think. It might have been in the first set, but I might be wrong on that. Maybe second set.
Oh my goodness. Well, now you got me.
Just totally threw you off, didn't I?
Do that.
See, this is why I'm here.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah, this is why you're here, Faith. Keep us on track.
Well,
off track.
Well, I do want to play a sample of the song. I was going to ask you, Andy, I know you sing, and I know your voice is your main instrument, but do you play any other instruments out of curiosity?
I do play drums. I can play around with piano, bass. I wish I could play a guitar, so I'm really jealous of Johnny right now. But this year, I've been a really good boy, so I'm asking Santa for the gift of playing a guitar. I know I'm going to get it. I know I've been good. I am not on the naughty list.
I feel like that's a big ask. A guitar would be one thing. But
thanks, Faith. Thanks.
But you can
just pop
I'm
my
not
bubble.
a mother yet, but you can do it. Is that how I do it, Cheryl? You can do it.
Thanks, Faith. You made me feel. Thanks, Faith.
Well, I'm going to see if I can set up this particular song, but I also just want to remind the viewers here that you are watching GMIHub Online. And today's show is a very different show and a very special one. It's our very first Songwriters Circle. And the reason we're doing this is because on Friday, we just launched GMIHub's very first compilation Christmas album, and we're so excited. And the artists that we have right now are just a few of the artists that have submitted their songs, and you're going to find their songs on that particular album. If you're wondering where you can find the album, just go to gmihub.bandcamp.com and you'll be able to listen to the songs there. And hey, you can get some early Christmas shopping done too. So I hope you go and listen to it. And if you just give me a few minutes, I am going to see if I can get your song. Andrew, while we're doing that, when you were writing the song, did you find the lyrics hard to come by?
This one, no. They were just there. It's pretty much as fast as I could get them onto paper, they were there. So, which is a rarity for me, I will admit that. But this one, it just was easy.
Wow. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because I know that I'm like you. I can tinker on piano, I can play drums, and I don't have the advantage of playing an instrument. So I just using you, if I can do this, Andrew,
yeah, no, go ahead.
As an encouragement to anybody else who may be thinking about songwriting, and they might feel, I can't do a song because I can't play piano or I can't play an instrument of any sort to help me out, but music can still come to you.
Correct.
And Andrew and I are perfect examples of that. Where music and songs can come to you, and they could be hits. I mean, Andrew did say that this particular song was a hit in Europe. Correct. That's right. So I'm just getting the song ready now, and I'll try and share this.
the God of love sent his only son to show the world his everlasting love. This gift of love is one we choose to share, just as from above shines his presence everywhere. We need to share this kind of love with everyone we meet. All around the world is what we need. This gift of love.
It did not sound very croonery. I mean, I'm listening to it and like you talk about crooner, like I'm waiting to hear like chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and it's not that at all.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
not very Nat King Cole.
You
Anyway,
should talk to that Andrew guy.
I'm gonna talk to him.
Advertising.
Shouldn't have stole this song to submit it. Dang it, wrong song.
It's a beautiful
Golly.
song. And again, if you want to get a copy of this song, it is available on gmihub.bandcamp.com. Definitely have a listen to it, purchase it, or hey, get the whole album because there's a lot of good stuff on there. And speaking of good stuff, here comes Denise. Denise is, I mentioned before, she is, I'm amazed at her talent. She not only sings and writes songs, but she plays piano, saxophone, flute, guitar, bass, I think. I've run out of, there's more? She plays so many.
Kazoo?
Kazoo. Every time I see her, I mean, look behind her, like that's her instrument. Do you play drums too, or is that you leave that to?
I actually do play drums, but my son plays as well.
There you go. Right, plays so
Right.
many instruments and amazing on stage. I've had the pleasure of singing with her. I was almost intimidated in some ways because I thought, oh, I hope I can do this real good, you know. But
You were awesome.
You were very encouraging. Thank you. And she's traveled, I'm assuming around the world. Is that correct? In different places?
I've done a lot of travels. Yes.
Yeah. So the stage is
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So tell us, Denise, tell us your story. How did you get into the music scene?
Okay. Well, I was born in 1919.
Okay. Oh, day
That's
after.
good.
The
That's
day
good.
after
I like
Andrew,
that.
right?
Like that.
I'm a little younger. No, I'm cheesy. So, no, I'm from Northern Ontario, raised on a farm, lots of kids. Mom and dad loved music, raised very simply. And my older brothers were really into music. And I just got to hear some great music at a very young age. And just very attracted to music, sang in church choirs. Then I, took some lessons, a couple of guitar lessons. And from that led me to going to university and studying classical. I studied classical guitar. And, but I wish I would have taken jazz, but it was my path. I shouldn't second guess it. It's where I was led. And so I did a degree in music. And you touch on a lot of the different instruments when you're studying instrumental music. So as you well know, Rochelle, you probably play a lot of instruments as well. And so I just kind of kept everything I kind of dabbled with. I also play a little bit of violin, very little, but, I did a semester on violin. And so, now I have a violin and, I can, make my way on that as well. But anyway, I love all the instruments, but I'm predominantly, I would say, a guitarist. Not like Johnny over there, but not quite like Johnny. But I went back to school to become a teacher, and teaching degree. I got really sidetracked with teaching, but I was really glad that I was used to, inspire kids. And I was in the Mississauga News, I don't know how many times, doing, writing plays for my students and doing CDs with them and compilations, and just because it was in me to do. So I just did. And, you don't get paid for all that extra stuff, but I was so fulfilled by it. I just loved it. And anyway, I'm not teaching anymore. So I left that profession to focus more on the music in the last 5 years. So I'm also in a tribute band, a heart tribute band. So I play Nancy Wilson, if you're familiar with some of that old classic rock, some great tunes. And we've done performances in the US where they fly you into Mississippi and you do a gig and you fly back, and a lot of fun stuff. So I've done a lot of fun stuff in my life with music. But there was a period in my life when I wrote a lot, and that was when a lot of hardship happened to me. My sister passed away, and my sister was one of my greatest mentors in my life. She was a phenomenal musician, perfect pitch, all that kind of thing, and she was a real talent. And when she died, I got very, very angry. And a lot of songs were birthed from that I still play, and there's still some of my favorites. Very, very difficult time. And, if nothing inspires you, a death does. It's just, you're just a well of emotion. And if you can be smart to capture that and write it and just go with it, grab an instrument, and it'll just come, the floodgates will open. And a lot of songs were birthed at that time in my life. Which is pretty cool. I mean, it's not cool to lose a sister, but it's cool to write all this music. But over the years, I've been writing, and just happy to really focus on it now. And when it came to being asked by the Hub to write a Christmas song, a little bit like Johnny, like, oh my gosh, we're in the middle of summer and we're asked to write a Christmas song. And I'm like, I'm not feeling the inspiration, right? I want to go to the beach, or I want to go to swim in the pool, But anyway, for me, like Rochelle was saying, you have to force yourself, and it's a discipline. And a lot of books talk about that. One of my favorite books, I got it right here, Pat Pattison. It's a great book, and it's all about a title, setting a timer, and then just purging and writing on that topic. And I used that mentorship from this book to do the same. So the whole notion of a Christmas song, okay, I'm just going to grab some paper and just come at it from an angle that would be interesting. And that was my objective. So I wrote a lot, and it's kind of like when you're making a fine sauce, it's about reduction. So I think, when you're making a beautiful pasta sauce and you start with a bottle of wine and then you reduce it to like a cup and then you add that to your sauce, I mean, there's nothing like it, right? It gives it that beautiful flavor. And writing for me is a lot like that, where it's a reduction. You start with this, and then you start, reducing it, taking out, editing it and taking out the stuff that's unnecessary, because you want to write with as little words as possible, because you don't want to muddy it up. You want to get right to the point. And that's an art form in itself, something I'm certainly working on. So, and I just, for this song, it's called The Invitation. And I thought the way I was approaching it was, I wanted to think of our Great Commission as believers. The Great Commission is to spread the gospel. And that is an invitation to choose. And the song really speaks to that, along with it being a Christmas song. We all know the narrative of, Christmas. So I bring the two together to create something a little bit, outside of the box. It's hypothetical, but keeping true to the Christmas story itself. It's the character that's hypothetical, but the narrative of Christmas is it's fact. And I think it came across really well. And I'm really inspired by the song and touched by it. And for that to happen is to me says a lot, because usually we don't always like what we do, but when you do like something you've done, you know you've got something. And anyway, I just feel with this song, I felt that I was led, and and I was certainly pressing into God. You got to help me because I'm coming up blank, like Johnny was saying. I got nothing. And so so I just wanted to be a conduit, just Lord, use me. And you also have to trust yourself, and you have to know when to let go. That and John, you know a lot about that, being in the studio and being a producer, because I remember years ago doing some recordings, and this was back when I was considerably younger, and at phase one, and I remember when 64 tracks weren't enough, like, oh no, we can add this and we can add this, and it was so convoluted, and it gets so packed with stuff where you're losing the essence of the song. So I think you have to, getting back to that notion of trusting yourself, you have to know when to just, hey, it's good. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Just let it go. And sometimes less is more, right?
What did you have to do to get into that place of listening to God and of like,
Right.
okay, this is my Christmas zone, or maybe those were two different places? Yeah.
No, that's a great question, Faith. And I think, my faith in God is a discipline. I work at it every day intentionally, where I'm lucky enough now I'm not teaching. So I have time every morning where it's prayer time. I belong to a Bible study. Cheryl is in the same one, BSF. It's fabulous. And there's prayer, and there's, some real structure. And I love that. So every day I make it a discipline. So when I do have to call on God, I feel I can expect him to respond, if that makes any sense, because I do have a very good faith life. Hey, do I make mistakes and upset people, and am I selfish, and am I, do I have ego? Yes, I struggle with all those things as well. Did I want to look pretty today? Absolutely.
You look lovely,
it's all,
by the way.
oh, you're so sweet, Faith. Thank you. But everything within the confines of, hopefully I'm pleasing to him, and and I expect to have a relationship with him, and for me, it showed up with this song. I pressed in, and anyway, God was there. I felt with the outcome. So thanks.
Beautiful.
When I listened to the lyrics of the song, because you did say something very interesting, that you had to come from it from a different perspective. And anytime we've talked about songwriting, no matter if it was songwriting for the church or just writing a song for whatever reason, there was that entity that's always the struggle of taking something as common as Christmas. And I'm not trying to negate it. What I'm trying to say is it is something that people have traditions on, and there's certain songs they've always sung, and there's always things they've always done at Christmas time. But to take something that is so common and still find something, a different angle or something a little different to make that topic fresh. I mean, that in itself is a talent. And what was interesting with yours is, I was going, from your perspective, were you, because I'm thinking your words were an invitation, it was an invitation, like you were watching things. It's almost like you were kind of like a person standing by, and you're seeing all these people dressed in gold, I think is what your words said, which I think were the wise men going.
Yes.
And you're going, where are they all going? Like, what's this all about? That's what
Right.
it seemed like. Was I right in
that is right? That's right. So you've got this entity, this onlooker who consider whatever you want that person is, someone who is just doesn't know the story. I don't want to say something silly like an alien, but I that's not what I mean, but someone who would not know what the story is, and is an onlooker and just observing. And how Christ, as a babe, has this connection with this person, and then to the point where this person feels the invitation to believe and does. It's and I like what you said too, because writing is about perspective. And if you can come up with an angle, an idea that hasn't been done before. I mean, the hardest would be with a love song. I mean, it's been done from every possible, vantage. And Christmas, a lot the same, right? There's been a lot of Christmas songs written. So it was to try to different way to approach it. And I wrote this song, but my brother Roger, who is a lyricist, he is an English person and he's a writer. So I did have him, just, hey, Roger, how's this landing for you? So he I think he changed like 2 things, but we do co-write. So that's why he's on there as well. And so he really, and for him to say, Denise, this is a really cool perspective, because usually he doesn't refer to my songs as very deep or interesting, because he's like the writer. And it was a big compliment to me for him to have said that. So yeah. Awesome. So thank you very much. Yeah, I hope you like it.
I'm going to encourage the other artists that are on here. Do you have any questions for one another?
No, but I did learn that I'm making pasta wrong. When Denise was talking about making pasta sauce, I did not know that you had to boil down the wine. I thought you drank the wine to the last cup and then use that. That's why my pasta sauce isn't right. But now that I know that, I'm helpful. It might be better.
Do you even know what you're putting in the sauce at that point?
Isn't it just a jar of ragu and off you go?
That's right.
As long as you have the right
add anything more, just a jar of sauce.
As long as we have the wine, I think we're good.
That's right. Right bottle of wine. There's always skip the dishes. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. That's right. Uber Eats. No, but try it sometimes, Andrew.
I will.
Reduce your wine.
Okay.
Try not to drink it.
I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try it.
Bringing that back to the lyrics, like Denise, you said you always start with a lot of stuff.
The reduction, yes.
The reduction is what's important. No, so does that mean you basically brainstorm? Like what do you basically do to get a lot and then try to reduce? Is it just brainstorming? Is it a specific technique that you use to come up with a lot?
Right. So that's right. And it's free writing, and where you just have a lot of paper, you have a topic and you write. You do, and they call it like a hot pen, where your pen does not come off the paper, and you just you can put a timer for the 20 minutes even or longer, 30, 45, an hour, and you just keep writing every possible thought on the subject. And then afterwards you have a look at it and you start picking and choosing and go from there. But you have a lot to draw from. And I have to say, I do use a thesaurus as well. Like it's, hey, it's out there. Why not? And you know what? It's so quick on a phone too, right? You can use that. Hey, we're all doing it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
We're not using all the words that are possible. So yeah, a good reminder is through the
for sure. You use the resources you've got. Like, don't be afraid. And I love and I've been also listening, like going on YouTube and just listening to the great songwriters just talk about how they do it. And how they're walking and a title of a book, a title of a movie, a this or that, anything. And you're always documenting, you're always taking notes of what is coming at you, right? Or walk through chapters is a good one, and look at the magazines, because they love to put those catchphrases, right? And those are great ideas, right? There's a lot out there that we can just draw from.
Lots of inspiration.
There is.
Yeah.
And you know what? Trust what's in there.
Awesome. So I was busy trying to find your song. I know I have it.
Still coming?
It's I think it's coming. So let's see. I'll probably play it before you can see it.
Okay. Andrew, how about you? Where do you get your inspiration?
Wow. Of all the spots that Denise just talked about, just life.
Did it come out?
Yes.
We heard a little something.
Okay, let's try this. Actually, Andrew, did you want to answer your question first?
No, I just said just life. I mean, it's what Denise talked about, just looking where you're at and what's around you. Life is great. He's always providing you the things you need. And if you look around, you'll find them.
So let's continue this conversation.
Okay, I'll keep going with that question and you give us a thumb or just make the audio happen when it happens.
Okay.
So Andrew was saying just all aspects of life and God kind of just brings things to mind and makes that happen. Kind of the same for you, Johnny. And curious, Rochelle, after Johnny lets us know what your process is too.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I mean, there's always, like Andrew was saying and Denise was saying, that life, you know, there's lots to draw on from life experiences. And it just depends on the angle you're looking at it, right?
You know, for me, I grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan, and I've been living in the city now for all my adult life. Before this, I was in New York City, and I miss living on a farm 10 miles down a dirt road from a town of 2,000 people where everybody knows your name. And for me, I really didn't start writing music until about a year ago, and we had a snow day. And couldn't go to school.
Wait. Are you
Yeah.
TDSB? Oh, you're not.
No,
I was
I'm
going to say there's
private.
only been one in 8 years. Okay,
No.
but okay.
And I sat at my piano, and I don't know what happened. I guess I don't know if God just touched me or whatever. I've been teaching music. I've been teaching composition to my high school kids for years, but never really just sat down and actually put the techniques to use. And I started just craving that hometown life, that small town life where everybody knows your name. And from there, started pouring out songs about that. And you know, my hope is eventually here with Johnny's help to do a country album, and just talking about those small town values.
It's coming.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. But I have a few of the songs written now, and you know, I love that about country music, which, you know, surprises people as an opera singer. Like, you know, where you've got these grand librettos and these amazing melodies. Like, why would you want to, as you say, reduce it and bring it down to like the most important thing? And to me, whatever is most important is what's important to you, you know? And so a simple phrase, a simple story of life to me is actually the most profound stuff. So that's where I kind of go with it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Country really does have a way of connecting you to like real
Real,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and storytelling. It's like unparalleled when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah.
Speaking of stories, this is an invitation to hear the song The Invitation. Are we ready, Cheryl?
Sitting down, a rustic stall on the edge of town. Beautiful people I could see around. Though I did not understand what's going on. Who are these men, all adorned in gold, with gifts so precious I did not know. Still they advanced and they knelt down before a babe unknown yet renowned. The night so bright, a guiding light that shone its beam right on her sight. The sky was clear, the air so still, and how I saw it all, it still gives me chills. An invitation drew me in. All his love and his peace I felt within. How's this humble gift just for me? In a moment I believe. Whoa, 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 the invitation.
Very cool.
That is awesome. I love the key change thing.
Yeah,
Wow,
the key
that-
changes are just, the progressions are just
And
super
the
cool.
chimes. I love the
you.
Super cool.
Well, you know what it was is I had the remark from someone said, it doesn't sound like a Christmas song because you don't say Christmas. You know what I mean? And that's why we got to put a Christmas element in the song. So
Yeah.
So what was the Christmas element that you added?
The wise men.
And the chimes, right? The instrumental.
The chimes, and that's why
like
we
fun.
put that intro, like an invitation to Christmas. The intro just spoken, where I actually say the word Christmas, because otherwise, I don't think you like, and many people would connect it that it's a Christmas song, right? Without the chimes and without me saying Christmas at the beginning. Yeah. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, those little details.
Well, the nice thing about that, though, Denise, is that it's an all around the year song, because that song could be sung at Easter time as well, right? I mean, I'm reminded of a song, and I'll be honest, I don't remember the title of it, but I know that the song itself talks about the birth of Christ, but almost saying he was born. There's a few songs like that. One was like he was born to die. So it kind of connects Christmas and Easter together. And then there's another one that I heard several renditions of it. And basically it's along the same lines as like, Christmas is not about the tree, and it's not about the candles, and it's not about the lights, it's not about this, but it is about this kid that grew up and he died on the cross, you know. So they do bring them together. So your song kind of falls in line with that, you know, from a whole different perspective, right? So
yeah, I could see that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, all of you have got you've just got amazing songs. All of you.
Awesome job. Thank you so much for being part of this project. Super excited for you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
We're honored to be a part of it, actually. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. Not a problem at all. And thank you for being with us and sharing your talent. And the audience, thank you for being with us. I hope and pray that these songs that you have heard will entice you to want to learn more, because there are more. There's more than what's here, and I'm hoping that on the 28th, November 28th, we will have more of our different artists come on board, so you can hear more samples of the songs and hear more of the stories. Again,
this was a great opportunity for everyone to hear a little bit of what the project is all about, this Family Christmas album, Volume 1. And I was wondering, Andrew, where can people find you on the internet as they're perusing the rest of your world?
www.andrewmartinmusic.com.
Amazing. Yeah. And Denise, where can they find you?
DeniseFex.com.
That's easy. And Johnny Gonzalez and Rochelle, where can we find you?
New Creation Studios.
NewCreationStudios.com.
Yeah.
NewCreationStudios.com. Amazing. Yeah. And Cheryl, could you remind us, how can we take a listen to those songs again? Because they were so awesome. Where can we find that music?
You can find that music again on GMIHub.bandcamp.com. That's GMIHub.bandcamp.com. And it will take you right to the page where you'll see the list of songs. Some of them, the lyrics are right there as well. Mm-hmm. And you have the option of, if you want, you can purchase the song, or you can purchase the entire set of songs. They make great Christmas albums. I know that there's some people that have already purchased their Christmas album. Kudos to all of you for doing your early Christmas shopping. But now more of you have to do it. So
it's a present you don't even have to wrap. You know,
what could be easier?
Yes, all in one shot.
It might be a little bit challenging, but also there are all sorts of other styles on the album. You should definitely go to the site and take a listen to all of the songs, and then download them and treat yourself for the next 2 months or however long you celebrate Christmas. I know some people have been celebrating since October 1st. Yes. But yes, thank you so much for coming and watching this broadcast on YouTube of GMIHub Online.
And remember, we encourage unity, community, mentorship, and talent growth.